Okay, I'm here with Eva Filzmoser from who's the program director of CDM-Watch, who have discovered flaws in the funding system. Is that correct? If so, could you explain a little bit more about what those flaws are?
Yes, I'd be happy to do so. Thanks, first of all, Daniel, for having me here. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about a recent scandal that has been all over the international media related to so-called HFC 23 abatement projects under the CDM, under the Clean Development Mechanism. But before maybe going into the details of what the scandal is about, I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of what the HFC 23 actually is and what it's doing under the CDM. HFC 23 is a waste gas that is generated by the production of the refrigerant gas HCFC 22. I know these are very a lot of acronyms. And the HFC 23 is a very potent greenhouse gas, which is about 11,700 times more dangerous than CO2. And the CDM that is paying to destroy this waste gas, so to prevent that it's not vented into the atmosphere, pays 1 ton. It pays 1 credit for the destruction of each ton of CO2. For the case of HFC 23, this means that for each ton of HFC 23 that is reduced, the 11,700 credits are issued. Under the current market price, you could say that you get about 10 euros for carbon credits, and you can make the calculation yourself on the HFC 23 case of how much money we're speaking. To give another dimension or another context to the story, I'd like to explain what's the role of those gases or of these projects within the CDM in general, because you might know that there is about 2,500 projects currently registered under the CDM under the Clean Development Mechanism, and only 19 of those are HFC 23 abatement projects. But nevertheless, despite that small number, they account for more than 50% of all the credits issued under under the mechanism. So the importance is immense, and that's why there was so much interest of the media in the scandal that we have discovered.
So really it's a manipulation of the figures, is it, one way or the other? And if so, who are the beneficiaries? Exactly.
So the manipulation of numbers you're saying, and that is exactly what we have discovered. There's been a lot of concern that because of the money that is involved in this the destruction of this gas industry, the producers of this gas in the first place have had an incentive to increase the production so that they can generate more waste gas to be able to destroy it. And we have finally, earlier this year, made an analysis of the monitoring data that is submitted by those projects to the UNFCCC, and have analyzed the production patterns of those plants. Our analysis has shown that indeed there's the crediting methodology that is the basis for how these projects get their credits is creating a perverse incentive for these projects that they increase their emissions so that they can create more gas, which as a result means that there's more emissions produced because of the CDM than would have happened without the CDM. So basically this is the bottom, or this is the problem at the basis of this whole scandal.
Which sounds totally ludicrous, that the very body that's been set up to monitor this is causing a bigger problem. So have these findings been widely recognised?
So yes, actually there has been a historical move on this scandal in the past few months. Since we have submitted this formally to the UNFCCC, they have looked at it and have taken steps. They have launched an investigation in the summer to look into whether our allegations were actually substantiated, and have also, based on very serious concerns, put any more issuance of those credits on ice. So basically, over the summer, a lot of industry participants were suffering, not getting the credits, because the UN was investigating. The results have been finally presented 2 weeks ago at the latest CDM Executive Board meeting that just concluded before this conference started. And the key findings, they supported our allegations, saying yes, there is risk that this crediting methodology can cause an overissuance.
Is there anything that could be done to try to avoid this kind of problem in the future? I'm just wondering whether the system in the first place was too complicated, and if it's complicated, it allows people to manipulate it, to exploit it to their own ends.
Well, you're posing very interesting questions. First of all, can there be done something in the future? Yes, there can be. A lot of it can be done, but the problem is that what you address in your second question, that who is actually making the rules? What's the reason that this could happen in the first place? It's a UN rule that allows for such a flaw to invest the system. That is the basis of the only flexible mechanism that is in place at the moment under the United Nations Kyoto Protocol. This is a very big concern. There can be done something. I mean, there is the CDM is only, it was an idea to help mitigate climate change, but it's not the only way. There's also other options outside the carbon market that very often is a better tool to address certain project activities like the destruction of gases, because we are not only talking about the plants that are covered by the CDM, but there are also other projects outside the CDM that currently vent their gases in the air and don't have any incentive to destroy them, partially because there's so much incentive to keep those few projects that are covered by the CDM under the CDM.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have you covered everything?
No, actually, there's
Yeah,
I would just like to add just a big small detail that is very relevant in the context of this conference, and that is particularly that we are very close to having a solution to this problem, but it's not yet decided. So it is very important that within this conference, the direction that has been taken to address this problem, to find a solution, is kept in the right way, and that is not watered down by this big interest of certain industry members that want to keep the way as it is happening. So basically, the UN needs to fix the rules that this scandal cannot go on.
Right. And are you confident that that will happen?
Yes, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.